Hi everyone. So here is part 2 of the yoga basics. I'm going to be doing a few of the same ones, but I want to add on to the ones I've already taught you, give you more, and hopefully this will give you a really good base between the two of all of the poses. There's always variations and different things where you can modify to make it easier, and there's other ways where you can enhance it by making it harder by doing different things. So if you have a yoga block, I suggest you get it. I'm going to be using a block in this one. You don't have to have a block. I've always said that if you have like a can of soup, you can use that. I've got a crazy wild hair somewhere. If you have a can of soup, you can just kind of rest your hand on top of that, but have it close by if you have something for that extra support. I've just got mine right here so that they're easily found. Okay, so let's get started. So you want to have the big toes are touching, the knees are spread wide, or like I said before, you can bring your knees in closer. If you need to have extra support, if you have knee issues, you can have a block behind your bottom, and you can just get to wherever you are. And we're just going to start out in child's pose. So however you want to get there, go ahead and just melt your chest down into child's pose. So I want you to start your breathing. Just breathe normal right now. So let's turn on that Ujjayi breath. So first for alignment, the big toes are touching. Your chest and forehead are melted down towards the mat. And I want you to turn on that Ujjayi yogic breath. So I want you to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. It's a long, slow process. Inhaling slowly and exhale slowly. So keep on breathing like that at your own pace. And we're going to set an intention. So you need to be in harmony within yourself to be able to nourish and nurture other people. So I want you to just kind of, while we're breathing and relaxing, I want you just to take a look inside of yourself. How is your breath throughout the day? Are you breathing deeply? Or are you like a lot of us that do the shallow breathing? Are you filling your lungs completely and releasing all that air completely? How is your nutrition? What are you putting in your body? That has a lot to do with how your body is able to function. Are you getting enough sleep? Where is your focus throughout the day? What are you doing so that your body is complete, your mind is complete, and your soul is complete? What are you filling yourself with so that you are able to serve and nurture other people? Keep up with that breathing. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, I want you to draw your navel back towards your spine and then slightly up towards the heart. And then hold that
engaged core position throughout. Whether you're inhaling or exhaling, your navel is constantly drawn back towards the spine and slightly up towards the heart. Let's take 2 more breaths. Last breath. Come up into a tabletop position. So I'm probably going to regret not pulling my hair back today, but that's okay. So we're in tabletop. We want the knees stacked right underneath the hip points. We want the wrists under the shoulders. The fingers are spread wide and the thumbs are slightly tucked in, and we're pushing away from the ground. So the spine and neck are one long line. You can feel your back widening. Our navel is still drawn towards the spine and slightly up towards the heart. So now I want you to keep with that breath, but I want you to just kind of move. So circle around your wrists and your hips. We're just warming up the joints right here. And now reverse it. Making sure that navel is still engaged. Okay, come back to neutral. Make sure that the knees are still underneath the hip points. I always like to start out with the thread the needle, just because it helps to warm up the joints because you're twisting and moving. So inhale that right arm up. And exhale, we're threading it underneath the left arm, resting our left ear and cheek on the mat. Sorry, did I say left? I meant right. So again, with the left hand, you can just stay right here if you want to kind of spider up on the fingertips and push yourself deeper into the twist. That's a different variation. If you want, you can take that left hand reached around the back and grab on to that right thigh for a bind. Any position is perfectly fine. There's no right or wrong here. Keep the breathing. Release that left hand back down. Inhale the right arm up and open up the heart and place it back underneath the shoulder. Now we're going to inhale that left arm up and exhale, thread it underneath the right arm. So again, the hand can stay right where it is. You can spider up on the fingertips and push yourself deeper into the twist if that's what you need. Or You can reach that right arm around the back and grab onto the left thigh for a bind. Still breathing, still engaging the core. Take that right hand, replace it back on the ground. Inhale that left arm up, opening the heart, open the chest, and place it back down. So check in with your alignment again. So we want to do the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. So we're going to do the balance, but we're going to add on to make it, to give you a different modification for it if you'd like to have it a little more challenging. So we're going to take that right leg straight back. So we're reaching through the heel. Make sure your hip is in line. Your hips are in line with each other. You're not hiking that hip up. Keep them in line with each other. Now you can stay here in balance, or if you're coming with me, we're going to take that left hand and reach it forward. So the fingertips in the heel are reaching in opposite directions. The hips are in line with each other. The core is engaged. And we're breathing. Take one more deep inhale. And exhale, release it, and just wag your tail. Okay, so make sure that the knees are in line again, straight underneath the hips. We're going to take that left foot straight back, reaching the heel towards the back of the room. Make sure your hips are in line with one another, and if you're coming with me, we're going to reach that right arm straight forward. So again, the fingertips and the heel are reaching in opposite directions. If you're shaking, that's completely fine. I'm shaking. If you need to tap your foot down to take a little break, you can do that too. Take a deep inhale and release it and wag your tail. So let's actually sit back for just a second, because sometimes that's really hard on the shoulders. So just move them around, go the opposite direction, shake them out, whatever your body needs. Okay, so while you're sitting here, I'm going to show you what we're going to come into right now. So we're going to do a Sphinx pose. From Sphinx, we're going to do a forearm plank, and then we're going to walk our feet up into a dolphin pose. So just watch right now. I'll explain everything, and then we'll do it together. So we're coming into Sphinx pose. So the elbow is underneath the shoulder. Our fingertips are spread wide, and the hands, the palm is suction cupped to the mat. We're resting our belly down, but we're also drawing our navel up towards the spine. So I want you to pull your heart through in this pose. Then when we come up, we're going to just kind of tuck our toes under, coming up to a plank. With the plank, you're pushing the ground away, like your elbows and your forearms are pushing the ground away, so your back is widening. And then you're going to tiptoe up while still pushing away into a dolphin pose. And then we'll tiptoe back to plank, and then release the stomach down, pulling the heart through into Sphinx pose. Okay, so come and meet me in Sphinx pose. Okay, so you want your elbows directly underneath the shoulders, or they can be slightly in front of the shoulders. Your fingertips are spread wide, the hands and the forearms are pushing down into the mat, and you're using your hands to pull your heart through. So you're not actually going to pull your chest through, but you have that motion, that sensation that you're pulling your heart through. And you're reaching back through your tippy toes. Draw the navel to spine. Breathe. On the next inhale, I want you to tuck your toes under and come up into the forearm plank. So again, if you need to do this on your knees, you're still going to feel this because you're engaging your core and you're pushing away with your arms and the elbows. So you're either way. Hold it. Really feel that navel back toward, feel the navel drawn towards the spine. And now I want you to tiptoe up. So still push away. You're pushing away from the ground. You're coming up to a dolphin pose. Only hold this for a couple breaths. And then tiptoe back to the forearm plank. Push away from the ground, engage the core. Release the knees and the stomach. And you may have to scoot yourself back a little bit and then pull your heart through. If you need to shake your arms out, that's completely fine. Tuck the toes under, push up into forearm plank. So really engage that core. Push away from the ground. And now tiptoe. See if you can get just a titch higher this time. Push away. Tiptoe back. Engage that core, pushing away from the ground still. If you need to drop to your knees, that's fine. Drop to the knees. Release the belly. If you need to scoot back and pull the heart through. Push the shoulders down away from the ears. Draw the navel to spine. Pulling the heart through. So now I want you to just put one hand on top of the other, rest your forehead on top of the hands, and then just wiggle your hips. Place your hands by the chest, tuck the toes under, push up into plank and back to downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, the fingers are spread wide, thumbs slightly turned in, the biceps are by the ears, the tailbone is lifting up towards the sky as the chest and stomach melt towards the thighs. Our first down dog, so pedal it out. Pedal it with your breath. You can do it as slow as you need to. Just stretch out and waken those hamstrings. Okay, now I just want you to keep your legs still. Get a really, really good bend in the knees and just melt the chest towards the thighs. Inhale, come up on the tippy toes and look towards your hands, and I want you to walk your feet towards the hands so the feet are hip width distance, and we're just going to exhale and forward fold. So we're still warming up the hamstrings. So have a really, really good bend in the knees, resting your chest and stomach on the thighs. You can keep your fingertips on the earth and just sway side to side and front to back, or you can grab each elbow and sway side to side and front to back. If you need to take your feet wider for stability, that's completely fine. You just want the weight of the arms pulling you and stretching, elongating the spine. Don't forget to breathe. Place the fingertips on the mat, and I want you to heel toe the feet together. So now if you need to, for stability, if you need to keep your feet at hip width distance, you can always do that. You never have to put your toes together. It's completely up to you and what you need. So big toes are touching, heels are slightly spread apart, and we're going to exhale, forward fold, and just melt the chest down. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. So the shoulders are pulling away from the ears. The spine and neck are one long line. The thighs are engaged, so you're hugging muscle to bone. Navel is still drawn towards the spine. And we're breathing. Always breathing. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, sweep the arms out to the side and come all the way up into an upward salute. If you need to, flip your hair back. So upward salute. Our thighs are hugging the muscle to bone, so they're lifting up off of the kneecaps. We're engaging our glutes. We're engaging everything. The core is drawn back toward the spine and slightly up towards the heart. The arms are long and strong, and you're hugging muscle to bone in the arms too. So everything is strong right now in this upward salute. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, plant your hands. So we're going to step back and do a low lunge. So we're going to step that left foot back as far as you can get it. Then we're going to drop the knee, and we're going to come up into a lunge. So we want the ankle underneath the knee. If you need to keep your hands down, this is where your low lunge is, and it's fine. If you want to try and push yourself a little further, you can bring your hands and just rest them on top of the knees. If you want to go even further, you can bring your hands up. We're hugging the muscle to bone on both legs. And the feet are on different railroad tracks. They're not in line with each other. Plant your hands. Step that left foot back up to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up into a standing upward salute. And exhale, forward fold, leading with the chest all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, plant the hands and step that right foot all the way back as far as you can go. We're dropping that right knee and we're coming up. So we're either staying right here with the hands down, or you can come rest your hands on top of the knee, knee over ankle, or you can come all the way up. Drawing the navel to spine, hugging muscle to bone. Plant the fingertips down, step up to meet the right foot with the left. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up into an upward salute. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, plant your hands. Step that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. So check in with your alignment right now before we come up. So the knee is over the ankle, the heel is up on the back foot. If you need to put it down, that's completely fine. But your feet are on different railroad tracks. So this time we're going to come up into a crescent lunge or a high lunge. So we're going to inhale all the way up. And if you need to bring your feet wider for more stability, that's fine too. The navel's drawn towards the spine. So from this position, I want you to hop that left foot back in a little bit. We're going to inhale up and then exhale into pyramid pose. So both feet, they're on different railroad tracks still, and the toes are both pointing forward towards the top of the mat. So this is pyramid pose, and we're just going to melt down. So a different variation of this is you can grab each elbow. Ooh, I'm not stable for that right now. You can grab each elbow for a bind. You can bind your fingertips and let that pull you down further. My muscles are super tight right now, so I'm just going to leave my fingertips down. You should feel a big stretch in that right hamstring. Look forward. You're going to step that foot up to meet together with the right foot. Big toes are touching, heels slightly apart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, plant your hands. Step that right foot all the way to the back. Checking in with your alignment. So the knee over the ankle and the front. The heel is up in the back. If it needs to go down, it can. And you're hugging muscle to bone on that back leg. So when you're ready, we're going to come up into the crescent lunge
or high lunge. So again, that knee that I didn't say the first time, but that knee should be tractioning towards that middle toe. Shoulders away from the ears. Now hop that back leg in just a little bit. Inhale, reach, and exhale into pyramid pose. So we're folding forward, both toes are facing the front of the mat, and we're just melting our chest towards our thigh. So I still want you to be hugging muscle to bone on that back leg. Don't let it just sit there and do nothing. Don't forget to breathe. Get the fingertips down. Inhale that foot up to meet with the left one. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale your hands down into heart center. Okay, get control of my hair for a second. Okay, so we're gonna go through a flow like I told you. So we're gonna do the chaturanga or the half plank, and then push yourself up into a heart opener. So either one of the cobras or upward dog, and then back to downward dog. If you need this break and need to go right into down dog, go right to down dog. If you need to take a child's pose, take a child's pose, whatever you need right now. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, leading with the chest. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank. And you can either go to downward dog or go through the flow. Inhaling to your heart opener. And exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, so actually come on your knees for just a second. So we're gonna do warrior 2, and then we'll do a reverse warrior, then an extended side angle, and then triangle pose, not pose. So let me show you what that's going to look like, and I'll talk to you about the alignment as I go through it. So we are in downward dog. We're going to inhale that right leg up. Exhale, swing it through, plant it by the right hand. We flatten the back foot. So with the warriors, and I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, so with warrior, any warrior pose, the back foot is flattened on the ground and the front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. So they're in line with each other, okay? So we're gonna windmill our arms open into warrior 2. So warrior 2, knees over ankle, hugging muscle to bone on the back leg. Fingertips are actively reaching in opposite directions, and you're looking over that front middle finger. So here's warrior 2. So then we're going to do a reverse warrior, so that front knee still has a good bend in it. And then we're gonna do extended side angle. So yesterday we did a side angle where it was just up here. This time we're gonna do extended. So we're reaching our arms. So the leg and the arm is just one long line reaching. And then we'll come into triangle pose. So you hop that back foot in just a little bit, and then we melt down into triangle pose. And this is where you're gonna want to have a block. So if you have a block or a can of corn, I don't know why that just flew out of my mind. Can of corn. That means something's easy, right? So you put your hand on the block, so you're pushing up and the left arm is reaching up. Okay? So come with me. Have that block close by. So we'll meet in downward dog. Let's take a cleansing breath right here. So inhale through the nose, open the mouth and exhale. One more time, inhale through the nose, open the mouth, let it go. Inhale that right leg up. Exhale, swing it through, plant it by the right thumb. Flatten that back foot down. Check in with your alignment. So the heel is in line with the arch of the foot. The knee is over the ankle, and you want that knee tractioning towards that middle toe. So we're going to windmill our arms open into warrior two. So check where the knee is. The back leg, you're hugging muscle to bone. Fingertips are actively reaching in opposite directions. Navel still drawn towards the spine. And of course, we're breathing, right? A couple more breaths. So flip that front hand. Inhale, reach. Exhale, reverse. And we'll only stay there for a second, and now we'll go right into side angle. So I want you to twist so the pinky is towards the ground. So twist your wrist. Make sure you still have a good bend in that front knee. Now hop that back foot in a little bit. Grab the block if you have it. Place the right hand down on the block and then open the arm up into triangle pose. And you can look up or down, whatever you need. Okay, here's something I didn't tell you. We're going to reverse our triangle. So now, place that left hand down and then open the right arm up. Hug and muscle the bone on your thighs. Plant your hand, remove the block. We're going to step back into plank and either go to downward dog or go through a flow. Inhale to your heart opener. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale that left leg up. Exhale, swing it through, plant it by that left thumb. Flatten that back foot down. So again, let's check in with our alignment. So the heel is in line with the arch of the right foot. The knee's over the ankle, and it's tractioning towards that second to middle toe. When you're ready, we're going to windmill our arms open into warrior two. So check in once you get up here. Make sure you have a good bend in the front leg. Make sure you're hugging muscle to bone on that back leg. Your fingertips are actively reaching in opposite directions. Navel's drawn towards spine. Again, if you need to stand up for a second and shake your legs out, do it, and then just meet back with us. Take one more breath. Reverse the warrior for 1 second, and then come into extended side angle. Hug muscle to bone. Make sure that back leg is still working. Hop that back leg in just a little bit. Grab that block and open up into side angle. Keep breathing. Hug muscle bone.
Place that right hand down and lift up that left arm. Reverse triangle. Place that left hand down, move the block away, step back into plank, and go or flow. Inhaling to your heart opener, and exhale, downward facing dog. So inhale that right leg up. Exhale, I want you to swing it and plant it on the outside. Actually, no, sorry, on the inside. We're going to start out with a runner's lunge. So in runner's lunge, the feet are on opposite railroad tracks, the knees over the ankle, and the fingertips are barely brushing the ground. So you really want to engage the core here. Draw that navel to the spine. Breathe. Now I want you to place that left hand down, heel toe that right foot on the outside of both hands. So it's on the edge of the mat. And this is dragon pose. So in dragon pose, the back of your thigh is reaching up towards the sky. We still have a really good bend. The ankle is underneath the knee. Keep that back leg reaching. And you're pushing away from the ground too at the same time. Drawing the navel to the spine. So if you want to go from here into a lizard pose, all you do is just tilt that right foot on the knife outer edge of the right foot. And it just kind of opens up the leg to the side. Now, if you need to, you can always use blocks here. You can rest right here. You're still going to get an amazing stretch because you're reaching that back leg up. You're stretching that other leg out. Okay, so let's step back into plank and go to downward dog or go through a flow. Inhale to your heart opener. Ooh, exhale, downward facing dog. Let's go right over to the left side. Inhale that left leg up. Exhale, swing it through and plant it. We're coming into runner's lunge. So knee over the ankle. Back leg, back of the back thigh is reaching up towards the sky. Fingertips are just barely brushing on the earth. Navel drawn towards spine. Breathing. Place that right hand down, heel toe that left foot to the outer edge of the mat, and we're in dragon pose. So fingertips spread wide, pushing away from the earth. Back of the right thigh is reaching up towards the sky. Navel drawn towards spine. We're breathing. If you need to shake your legs out, do it. If you're going to come with me into a lizard pose, we just go on the knife outer edge of that left foot. So the left knee kind of tips out to the left. We're still reaching and pushing and spreading and being strong everywhere else. And if you need to use blocks, go ahead. Step that foot back to meet the other into a plank. And then go or flow, inhale into your heart opener, and let's exhale right into child's pose, because I think we need it after all that arm balancing. So knees spread wide, big toes touching, and just melt your chest down. When I'm in child's pose, I like to kind of sway side to side and ease myself into it. And I want you to release your belly now. Just let it draw towards the mat. Slow the breathing down. Slow the heart racing. Come back into taking inventory of what you need to do with yourself to become more centered and whole so that you're able to nurture and help others. Let's take one cleansing breath. So inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, let it go. Okay, so push yourself up into, sorry, my hair is like all over my face and so it's tickling my nose like crazy. Okay, so I want you to sit back on your heels, but I want you to tuck your toes under. So this is called a toe stand, I believe. So just sit back here and let's circle the shoulders because we built up a lot of tension there. And we're going to be working the shoulders again because we're going to do some side planks. I know, but you love me. So that's why we're doing it. Because I love you too. Okay. Shake it out. Whatever feels good. Okay. So we're going to do some planks. So let me show you different options for planks. Side planks. So you can do the side plank on your forearm. You can have your feet staggered, one in front of the other. You can stack them one on top of the other. Sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit woozy, I'll even just, but I want to still get the balance, I'll just put the top toe touching the mat, so it just kind of gives me more points of contact for a little more stability. So this can be your side plank. It's the same thing with the upper, or just the side plank, regular side plank. So you can stagger your feet, one in front of the other, so the toe is touching the heel. You can stack them. If you want to be up on your arm and do a side plank this way, this is good too. You're engaging your core and you're balancing, so you're still going to be working a ton of stuff. Or if you want to do the full expression, you'll be like this, reaching everything up. So let's do side planks, and then we're going to do pulsing with the side planks. So you should still be on doing your toe stands, right? So I want you to lean forward and then just tap your toes, get rid of that tension. I love the toe stands. I love the way that feels. Okay, so come over to the side. So whether you're up on the hand, on the elbow, if your feet are staggered or stacked, whatever you need, and you can either put your hand on the hip or reach it up, and we're going to just dip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And come out of it. Okay, roll the shoulders. So normally when we reverse it, when we do this, we come into the forearm balance. My husband is sneaking into the door. I wish you could have seen his face. Normally we'll come into it so it's like actually part of a flow, but since we're kind of doing this more of an instructional type of thing, we're just going to sit here and then we'll move to the other side. Okay, so come into your side plank, whatever variation you need. And we're going to dip, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And come down on your knees. Do the toe stand again. So tuck the toes under, sit back on your heels, and then just roll the shoulders. Whatever your body needs right now. I did a killer shoulder and arm workout yesterday. Oh my gosh. So this is like major punishment. So if I'm hurting you, just know someone else hurts me too. Okay. So now we're going to do the lotus pose. So we're going to come onto our bellies. Come all the way down. So the very first one, I want your hands back by your hips. For the very first one, we're only going to lift our head and chest. So the hands and the feet are pushing into the earth as we inhale and lift. So let's take one deep breath in and out. So inhale and exhale, and then inhale and lift. So I want you to feel like you're reaching the crown of the head towards the front wall. So this isn't a height, this is a length. And breathe. And release it and shake your hips. So this next time around, we're going to lift our head, chest, and hands. And remember, we're thinking of length. So we're going long, not tall, and not high. So take one complete breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Chest, head, and hands. Thinking length. Reaching the toes too. Keep them on the ground, but reach them. Shoulders away from the ears. And release it and wiggle the hips. When we do this, we build up a little bit of tension in the lower back. So I love wiggling the hips to get rid of that tension. Okay, so here is the one, the big mama. So we're going to lift up. So we're going to lift our head, chest, hands, and feet. And remember, we're thinking length, not height. So let's take one complete breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and lift everything. Draw the navel to the spine. Shoulders away from the ears. And release it down and wiggle the hips. If you want to rest your forehead on your hands, putting your hands one on top of the other one, that's a good way to do it too. Whatever you need. Okay, so now that we've kind of warmed up the back, we're going to come into bow pose. So in bow pose, we are grabbing the feet from the inside, or is it the outside? I think it's the inside. Try it both ways. Okay, so we're grabbing the feet. And if you can't get into this pose, then just do the lotus one again. That's completely fine. We're going to inhale and we're going to kick our feet into our hands and lift the whole body up. And we'll hold it for a few breaths, like 4 to 6 maybe. But you do you. So take a complete breath. And then inhale up. Kicking the hands into the feet. Place one hand on top of the other. Take the feet as wide as the mat and just wiggle your hips. Okay, let's do it one more time. See if you can hold it a little longer than you did last time. So, hands to feet. Take a complete breath. And kick up. And release it. Place the opposite hand on top. Feet as wide or wider than the mat and just wiggle the hips. All right, so come onto your backs. So either flip over or I like to face this way. I don't know why, but I just like to. So come on to the back. Get your hair out of your face if you need to. Okay, so we're gonna do low boat leg lifts. So low boat, we're crunching our back, the upper back, and the head up. The legs are long, and we're gonna 1, 2, 3, engage that core, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then just hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my gosh. Hug your knees in. Rock side to side. If you want to roll over and push up into an upward dog or a cobra, that is a really good way to stretch the stomach out. It feels really good. Actually, let's do that. So, oh yeah. Such a great way to stretch out the stomach. Okay, come back onto the back. So another pose that we do in yoga is plow pose. So you're going to lift your feet up and over your head. It's a harder one, but I'm just trying to show you everything that you may be asked to do if you go to a class. So you're gonna have your feet sit stretching straight up, and then you're just gonna kick them overhead. And if your toes can touch the ground. Breathe. I'm sure you can hear me breathing. And then slowly, with control, you're going to roll down the spine. And hug your knees in. Rock side to side, massage the back. Okay, now we're going to come into happy baby pose. So I'm going to do this at an angle
so that you can kind of understand. You're going to take your legs out wide, and then you're going to grab the outsides of the feet and you pull the knees down towards the mat. So you should feel the whole length of the spine on the mat. And with this, you can rock side to side. If you get a cramp, you can just extend a leg out one at a time, or if you want a deeper stretch. Happy Baby is one of my faithful yogis, Curtis. I think it's his favorite one, or maybe he just laughs about it because it's just so funny. I don't know. It always makes him giggle. But it feels good. Make sure that you're still pulling the knees towards the mat, so you're feeling a really good stretch on the inner thighs. And release the feet. So I want you to take, your knees are bent. I want you to take the right ankle and put it on top of the left knee. So you're like in this triangle figure 4 looking shape. You're going to reach behind that left knee, behind the left knee, and pull that whole thing towards you. So you're really going to feel a good stretch on that right side on the IT band. So feel the length of the spine. You don't need to engage your core anymore. Let it go and just breathe. If you have a tight spot, again, if you have a really tight spot on that right side right now, focus the breath into that spot. So you inhale all of your air into that one spot. And then when you exhale, it disappears. So inhale into that spot. And then exhale. And you watch it break up and you feel that there's less tension with every breath. So with the knee, or the ankle still on the knee, I want you to take that whole entire thing over to the left side. So let's see, right, your right foot is on the ground, flat on the ground, and the knee is up, and then the other leg is just laying on the earth, and we're twisting over. So now the hand and the arm on the right side are reaching out to the right. So this is just like the spinal twist that we did before, but this time, this leg is up. I don't know if you can see that. It's like up in a triangle. And you can stay like this, or if you want to use that left hand and push that right knee away, that will just deepen this stretch. And it feels really good. Don't forget to breathe. We're slowing everything down. Now bring everything back to center. Hug the knees in tight. Oops, sorry. I was moving my bolster out of the way so I can move to the other side. Okay, so place that right foot down. The left ankle is on top of the right knee. Reaching behind the knee and pulling it in towards you. Okay, so now we're letting that whole thing tip over onto the right side. So the left foot is planted on the earth. We're reaching the left arm out to the left, and then you're pushing away the knee, the left knee with the right hand. If you did it on one side, do it on the other. I like to do these final stretches for right around 10 breaths, just so that you get the really good relaxing stretching after all that we did. Bring everything back to center, hug the knees in tight. Let your legs fall long. The feet can be as wide or wider than the yoga mat. You can rest your hands on top of the hip points, or you can rest them down by your side with the palms down in a grounding posture, or rest them palms up in a receiving posture. We're relaxing every single muscle. Let everything just melt towards the earth. Release the jaw. If you can imagine that your brain is like a fist, release the fist. Just relax the brain. Relax the head. Just relax every part of your body. Shavasana. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana, just stay laying down. Otherwise, start to take deeper breaths, filling the lungs. Start to make micro movements with the fingertips. And the toes. The wrists. And the ankles. Inhale and reach your body long. Exhale onto your favorite side for fetal position, resting your head on top of the bottom arm. Think about the things that you need to do to feed yourself so that you're able to go and nurture others. On the next inhale, push yourself up into a seated position, keeping the eyes closed or downcast. Resting the palms on top of the knees, shoulders down away from the ears. Sitting up tall, reaching through the sacrum all the way up the spine, out through the crown of the head. Tilting the chin slightly towards the chest, so there's one long line of energy. Take a deep inhale, reaching the arms out to the side, palms touching overhead. Exhale your hands down into heart center. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, release it. One more time. Inhale. Let it go. Bring your thumbs to the forehead. The light within me honors and respects the light within you. Namaste. Blink your eyes open. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope that this was good for you. Again, if you want to see me teaching anything else, just leave me a comment. Let me know. I'm more than happy to do it. Have a great day. Namaste.